Freedom is an illusion, and it's always been there, and we just haven't seen it because we've been conditioned to believe the government. Did you know in 1959, Congress passed a law that says that all automobiles have to have safety regulations and requirements and hold up to that? But it wasn't until later when President Johnson suggested that maybe it was time for the federal government to have regulations to help control that. So in 1966, Congress unanimously passed the act that was the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And then on January 1st of 1968, they then created the seatbelt law. It was that all seatbelts had to be installed in all vehicles. It wasn't an actual law to wear the seatbelt. It just had to be installed in the vehicles for the safety. Makes complete sense, right? Yeah, we're still on the same page. Well, people weren't wearing them. People didn't give a shit. So what they started doing in 1973, they started to install lights and chimes or buzzers or whatever that says, hey, you're not wearing your seatbelt, idiot. But that still wasn't good enough because people weren't making money. And so in 1984, the then Secretary of Transportation, Elizabeth Dole, had made all kinds of deals and promises. And hey, we can get money if we do this. And you can get money if you do that. So on December 1st of 1984, it was my 6th birthday. New York passed the first one, the first seatbelt law. If you weren't wearing your seatbelt, you would get a ticket. The idea was, hey, this can reduce your car insurance. So people were like, okay, it's not a bad thing, right? Of course not. Soon afterwards, 35 states have made it their primary enforcement. And when I say primary, that means that they can pull you over solely for not wearing your seatbelt. There are 7 other states, mine is one of them in Ohio, where they can't pull you over just for not wearing your seatbelt. But if you have another violation, they can then give you a ticket for your seatbelt. 7 states has it as a secondary, but it's a primary if you're of a certain age. How do they know how old you are? Why would the states enforce this, you ask? Well, great question. What they do is, if they make it their primary enforcement, then they get a grant from the federal government. And these grants help fund the police to pull over the people with a freaking fine for not wearing their seatbelt. How much are these fines, you ask? Well, in some places, they can be up to $200. Mm-hmm. Now, we're not here to talk about if a seatbelt is good or bad because we all know what a seatbelt can do. What the point of this rant is that the government is taking away your rights. I cannot drive my Jeep to the end of my driveway without the lights flashing and the buzzer going off. And if I wait long enough, the whole dash lights up. So all these laws is unwarranted intrusion by the government into our personal lives. The government is literally saying that we cannot have control over our own standards of our personal safety and health, and therefore they know what's better for us. And by proving how they know better than us, if we don't do what they say, we get a ticket and we have to pay a fine. And then our car insurance goes up because we have to pay for car insurance. And then it's just everybody else that makes the money. And then we are penalized for it because the government knows better. It is important for me to say that there is one state, New Hampshire, who does not enforce the seatbelt. So what do we take from this rant? We take that this has been going on for a long time and we have been conditioned to just deal with it. And we have been doing this for so long that our previous generations were doing it. Well, I'm already a previous generation. So as my last post on TikTok, since it's being banned, because that's what's best for us. You need to fight the system, people. It's not the land of the free. It's all an illusion.